I said to move the bonfire somewhere else, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear shows up and hugs me.
So you noticed some wildfire hazards and moved your bonfire to a safer location.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Smokey, all right. He likes it when people help prevent wildfires. It hits him close to home. Not everybody gets the hug, my friend. So that's pretty special to get a hug from Smokey Bear.
So it was him. Guys, I told you it was Smokey.
Okay, well, congratulations, my friend. And thanks for calling. There are many ways to prevent a wildfire. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. Waking up every day, lifting him from the bed to the wheelchair to the car to get him to therapy on time. It's no small task between the doctors and the diagnosis, but nothing can disable this love. This is my big brother, my hero. He's part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. See, there's no time for tired. This starts again tomorrow. He'll be waiting for me. I wake up for him. I know he needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 877-333-5885. Caregiving Resource Center. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do. Oh, tell the world I see.
Know someone who's being bullied online? Send the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more about the witness emoji at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. Feedthepig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman. You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? When a tornado is tearing through town? Or a hurricane strikes? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. And it's not always as simple as using your cell phone. That's why now is the time to take action. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Keep a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve. It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Cause that's the bottom line. The Stone Cold said so.
Everybody dies.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
Woo! Yes, sir! What the rock is cooking?
Now, welcome to Off the Mat with Alex Lowe's, Josh Silverberg, and Lyle Gillen.
Bam. Been a while.
Just a bit.
A long hiatus, but you know what? I'm actually so I totally forgot I have to repost and retweet all of this because I run the other profile as well. So I am doing this right now. I'm going to post it all over the place.
Who's that? Do we have a new host coming on? Because our intro, it mentioned another name.
It did.
I don't know who that person is.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm trying to figure out who that person is. It's a mystery. I mean, there is a picture of the person on the Twitter page in the header.
I don't see that anymore, unfortunately.
It's really not that unfortunate, honestly. You know what I'm saying? It's honestly, I like to think of social media at this point as a cesspool of just negativity. And but ladies and gentlemen, we are back I believe it was a 3-week hiatus. This is Off the Mat right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and bodyslam.net, the only wrestling talk show here on WWSRN. Happy Friday, everybody. That's right, Speedy. He is suspended. You know what I'm saying? That is no. So we do not have one today. I will go over that in just a minute. It's really cool who we have coming on next week. Welcome to Off the Mat. I am your host, Josh Silverberg. With me at this time, my co-host, one of my good friends. Man doesn't really need an introduction. That's Mr. Lyle Gillen. How you doing, sir?
The man, the myth, the legend. I am here. I am wonderful.
That's great to hear. We have a lot to get into. Obviously, Alex is still out.
Who?
Exactly.
Who?
He'll be back at some point. I did talk to Alex. I did actually talk to him the other day on the phone. He's been very busy with work and everything like that. And of course, we're happy for him that he did get a new job and he loves it so far and it's in his field and he's loving it. But again, he'll be back eventually. But we have so much to cover. That is for sure. We have a lot to get into, from recapping our trip to Vegas to getting into Forbidden Door to what is going to happen this summer with a lot of these big names now out through the summer, which is really sucks. But we will get into all that. But before we do all that, we got to tell you how you can listen to us and other shows as well. And that is by going to download the Worldwide Sports Radio Network app. And how you do it, it's completely free. If you have an iPhone, you go to the Apple Store. If you have an Android, you go to the Google Play Store. If you have an iPhone, you type in WWSRN. If you have an Android, you type in Worldwide Sports, click install. It is completely free. You don't listen to just us, but you can listen to other shows as well. You can get all the free articles. You could get recaps of the show. If you missed an episode, you can always rewatch it. Listen to the clips. You can listen to the audio file as well, the audio feed. If you are driving, you listen to it on a smart speaker too. And all of that, also worldwidesportsradio.com. And also check us out on one of the best wrestling inside scoops websites out there in bodyslam.net on their YouTube page. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Twitch, all of that, and so much more. We have a lot, like I said, we have a lot to digest. So we do have a guest that is coming on with us next week. That is NWA National Wrestling Alliance announcer Joe Galli will be joining us next Friday at 6:15. So he will be coming on the show with us to discuss everything NWA and all things going on with professional wrestling right now. So that's going to be awesome. It's been a while since we have had a guest on, so it's going to be cool to have Joe on with us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to get into NWA Power, how they've been doing and everything like that. I've been trying to keep up with it as much as possible, for sure. So we get into all that with Joe next week. And like I said, so we're until 7, so let's get right into it, Lyle. There's a lot to get into. We'll get to Vegas a little bit later. We'll have a break at 6:30. We'll come back. We'll get into our finishing move later on as well. But we got to start with really everything that's going on right now in professional wrestling, and that's all these injuries that have been piling up amongst not just AEW but WWE as well. Usually the summertime is really an awesome time for professional wrestling because you also have to remember kids are not in school. People have summer Fridays, so there's more time to focus on professional wrestling than it is during the regular year, where it's not as hectic, not as crazy, not as busy. And unfortunately, obviously in AEW, we got the unfortunate news of CM Punk had foot surgery. He's going to be out, they're saying, probably till August. So that puts a damper on the summer of Punk. And, of course, nobody has a clue of when Kenny Omega is returning. The report is he's still not yet fully healed from everything. He had a ton of injuries. He had a couple of surgeries. And basically, Tony Khan wants to make sure that Kenny is 100% ready to go when he feels he is 100% ready to go. Because if he's not 100%, it's not going to be the same with Kenny Omega. And then, of course, in WWE, you had the unbelievable heroic performance by Cody Rhodes to perform with a torn bicep where the bone was completely off. And he still performed the match against Seth Rollins, which I did see it. Unbelievable match. Dave Meltzer gave it 5 stars. It was the first main roster match to get a 5-star rating since 2011 with CM Punk and John Cena at Money in the Bank.
It's kind of sad.
What happened?
It's kind of sad.
Of course it's sad, but you have to remember too, it is also opinionated with the ratings and everything like that. But I think Cody alone just doing that performance through all that, and you saw it too on social media. If you didn't see the picture of it, it's gruesome. It's really bad. That's not makeup. That is a legitimate bruise on his bicep, down his arm. And actually, he posted, there was another photo that got posted. It actually reached, the bruise was originally just near where his, kind of where his elbow is. It reached all the way down to his wrist. So the bruise got even worse. They did surgery. He will be out to the Royal Rumble. And Roman Reigns is out.
Win.
Yeah, that's that. And as he should. And Roman Reigns is out filming a movie now, so he won't be back till SummerSlam. And the report was this was going to be a massive summer for CM Punk as AEW Heavyweight Champion. You were going to have Roman and Cody at SummerSlam headlining, and both those plans are now squashed, and it sucks. And now you think about the predicament that Tony Khan and Vince McMahon are now in, because Tony has lost two of his top guys in Kenny Omega and CM Punk. Vince has lost two of his top guys in Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. And like I said, the summertime really is a massive key for professional wrestling because, again, there's no school. Kids are up later watching, more time to do it. And that takes this. The biggest thing for me is that Forbidden Door is in 2 weeks in Chicago, and CM Punk is no longer going to be there, and that is
it'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it.
So you're not worried about it. I was talking to Jeff Lippman about it.
It's a major blow to getting buys. Preview quality will be perfectly fine. I'm not. I don't think.
See, I still think it'll be a good show, but it's not going to be what I thought it would be.
I think it'll be just as fine. I think the main event's now going to be Moxley Goto, which I think will be definitely better than Punk Tanahashi. If you saw their match in New Japan when Moxley first did G1, they had good chemistry together. I think they're going to have a phenomenal match, and I'm more excited for that match than I am for Punk Tanahashi.
See, for me, I was excited about Punk Tanahashi because of the aspect of it was in Chicago and I knew how the crowd would be. And that was, to me, something that really stands out because when CM Punk wrestles in Chicago, it's theatrical. We saw it with Darby at All Out. We when he came back. And to me, I think there's, like I said, I still think it'll be a good show, and it seems that they're leaning towards Okada, Page, and Cole in the triple threat match.
I don't think they'll do that.
That's what apparently. So Meltzer said that is apparently what they're leaning towards doing.
The original report was it's going to be Hangman and Okada.
They did, and then apparently now Meltzer has changed it, and apparently Khan has thought of a different idea of adding Cole to that match. Which is interesting, I guess. It's to me, I still think it would be a good show when you don't have Kenny Omega and you don't have CM Punk in Chicago. To me, whether you agree or not, and that's fine. Again, different opinions, it's allowed. To me, it takes steam out of the momentum that was taken from Double or Nothing leading into Forbidden Door, because the aspect was it was going to be at United Center, it was going to be in Chicago, CM Punk was going to headline against one of the greatest in New Japan history. And when you take that element away, just from the crowd perspective, because when Punk wrestles in Chicago, he wrestles, God bless you.
I tried to mute it, damn it. I couldn't get there in time.
She used as a soundbite now, Speedy. When it's like a bad take, just use loud sneeze.
So whenever Errol talks, just use that.
But it was, to me, it does take away a bit of excitement from me for it, because I was very much looking forward to seeing Punk in Chicago. I always am. And against Hiroshi Tanahashi, it would have been spectacular. Listen, Goto Moxley will be fine. If that is what it is, it could still be Tanahashi Moxley.
It could.
Moxley has said one of his dream matches is to wrestle Hiroshi Tanahashi, and he's never really gotten that opportunity to do that. And to me, we'll see what they do. Clearly, but despite all of that, and get to all the injuries, when you think about these injuries for AEW and for WWE, like it all happened in one shot. Like everything, like when one happened, like it was like a domino effect. It all happened like Rhodes went down, Punk went down, Omega's been down, Reigns is out. you know, and I mean, it all happened at one time. Omega's has been a while, but the other ones, you know, Omega's still not 100% healthy yet. When you look at this, not just for one brand, but for both brands, and I know you'll probably say AEW will be fine. To me, I think it hurts in a way because now, yes, they're going to have an interim champion for AEW. Fine, whatever, cool. I thought Wardlow actually had a great promo the other night when he said he'd rather wrestle Punk because he's the actual champion. I thought that was a cool promo on Wardlow's part to do that. I like that idea more. When you look at it, you can't sit there and tell me that you lose Punk, you lose Cody, two of the biggest names, in literally a 2-week span, not even a 1-week span. This doesn't hurt steam for both brands.
I still think we don't know how it'll hurt AEW. Depends on how long some of the guys are out for. Now, Cole's been injured for a while since he had his first match with Hangman. So he's been wrestling through it perfectly fine. So from that aspect, I'm not worried about it. Obviously, Jeff is okay. He's wrestling next week in a ladder match.
They're trying to kill him.
If Danielson is fine, then I don't think they'll miss a beat. They have enough star power on their roster. They'll be fine. What's taken away from me for Forbidden Door is more that Omega wouldn't be there. That's a better story than Punk being there. Punk he's good, but he doesn't have that connection to New Japan like Kenny Omega does. And the Moxley Goto match, if that happens, that's going to be immensely better than Punk Tanahashi. I wouldn't be too. I would be intrigued from Moxley Tanahashi. I just don't know what kind of chemistry they'll have. So I'm on the fence with that one, but Moxley Goto would be a enormously better match. Every way about it, it would be much better than Tanahashi Punk, and I think the show will be fine. We have Will Ospreay, it's going to be there. Jay White will most definitely be there. We still don't know what the Young Bucks are going to be doing. Probably going to have FTR versus United Empire for the tag titles. There's going to be many different things that's going to be going on. I think the show will be fine. Not having Punk is more going to hurt the show drawing for pay-per-view buys. The quality of the show will be just as good as it was. The quality of the show will not change. But the pay-per-view buys, that's where it could get hurt.
I mean, to me, if Kenny Omega, which clearly it sounds like he's not going to be there, if Kenny is not there, I mean, you're talking about a guy that was the face of New Japan.
He might make an appearance because it's New Japan, but I don't think he's not going to be there. He's not going to be wrestling, but maybe he makes an appearance. I don't think he would do that because he doesn't want to take away from the show. But I wouldn't be shocked if he made an appearance, but I don't think he will.
And to me, Kenny Omega was the face of New Japan for quite some time, and he was the face of AEW for quite some time. So he's the one guy that was the face of both companies. And I always said this when they announced this pay-per-view, and I always thought this: if Kenny Omega is not there, as good as the show can be, and I think it will be, to me, I mean, it hurts me watching it because I've been accustomed to watching Kenny in both companies, and he's the one guy that was a mega star in both brands, not just one or the other. Like Okada is a big star in New Japan. Jay White is a huge star in New Japan, but then you got like AEW where Hangman Adam Page is a big star in AEW. He was really nothing special. He was more Ring of Honor than New Japan anyway. So it's Kenny's the one soldier that I look at and I say, God, if he's not at the show, that sucks. Because he was the face of both of these companies at the same time. That I don't know. I feel like I said, you alluded to it. You're gonna have FTR and United Empire do stuff. I mean, it shows in 2 weeks, so they're gonna start building up to some stuff. Will Bryan Danielson be healthy enough? That's another question. Is he gonna be able to do stuff?
I think he'll be fine.
He may be fine, but they got to figure out what they want. It's also the tough part is you got to figure out what you want to do with these guys. Who do you want them to go up against? How do you want to do this? Traveling, things like that, figuring that out in a 2-week span. Obviously, United Empire.
Danielson's probably not going to be on the card for Forbidden Door anyway.
Danielson, you said?
Yeah, he wouldn't have been on there. Well, no, because Moxley wasn't going to be on it either way. Moxley's only on it because Punk is hurt, but theirs were intended to be on Wednesday at Blood and Guts, so they weren't going to be on that show.
Which to me, I think would have been that just sounds silly.
I mean,
you could have Danielson wrestle anybody in New Japan.
Yeah, you could if you weren't having that show that week after.
I mean, that's the thing. Well, I mean, that's the weird thing about it. I feel like everything is so clustered to close that
I don't think so. It's just a weekly Dynamite. It's gonna take up an hour of maybe 45 minutes of Dynamite. You're gonna have a couple of matches. I don't think so. They have enough of a roster, enough of rivalries to break it apart.
No, that's fine, but I feel like this is that dream pay-per-view that everybody's thought of. You want to have the best of the best from both rosters going at it.
But you're still going to manage your roster so then you can have other good shows and don't burn them out for the other shows, because doing matches in a New Japan style and then going to do Blood and Guts is going to take a big toll on the body.
No, I mean you could say that, but at the same time, I feel like when you do, who knows what kind of style they do it. If it is New Japan style, if they go that route,
they definitely
some
will.
of the matches,
it'll be very hard hitting matches.
Some of the matches will go New Japan style. Some of them might not. Some of them might just be AEW style, where they're 15 minutes and do it that way. They might go that route because they want to save the guys for the next week or in 2 weeks and stuff like that. Whereas, like where you think the Hangman match, the Hangman match will go 45 minutes. The Moxley Tanahashi or Goto match will go 30 plus minutes, I feel. Danielson to me has to be on the card. It would just be, to me, I would be extremely disappointed if he's not on the card. And if he was never planned to be on the card, I understand because of Blood and Guts, to me, it doesn't make a difference. Bryan Danielson there's 5 or 6 dream matches you can have. Bryan Danielson is one of your best guys on your roster.
I like with him being injured, I don't think he's going to be on the card. Because then you can't have him go from injured. He couldn't fly. It was probably a concussion. So he's probably going to go from that to a New Japan match, then right to a Blood and Guts. That's a lot to really expect of a guy. I think it's better to save him for Blood and Guts. But
what I want for this what I want for this pay-per-view is I want the best of the best from both rosters going against each other. I don't want
like
fillers.
That too, but
I don't want fillers. I don't
think they'll have filler matches at all. Well,
no,
they have to.
I want to see Danielson.
They're going to have to have at least 2 of them in there to break up the card.
Well, of course, the rest of everybody, of course.
It has to happen.
What I want to see is
they're going to have that. What has to happen, and if they need matches to break up the card, Yano versus Orange Cassidy, put that on there, even though they're both in chaos technically, or do Yano and Orange Cassidy versus Danhausen and somebody else, Danhausen and Hook. Boom, that would be a great filler match that is hilarious and everyone would love it. That would be amazing.
When I heard about this pay-per-view and they were gonna do it, what I wanted to see was the absolute best from both rosters go at it. That's what I want. I want to see Cole on there. I want to see Danielson on there. I want to see Sabre on there. I want to see Okada on there. I want to see Tanahashi on there, Moxley on there. This is a pay-per-view. This is the
I have a
United
question
Center
for
in
you.
Chicago. This is what it's supposed to be.
I have a question for you. Now, with all the stuff that's going on with Ibushi, do you think he could show up for AEW side?
Well, no way. There's no way.
If he got let go and he has no contract now, he can.
That's the problem. They're not letting him go. They're making
But
him
he
finish
has
out
no
this
contract.
contract. That's the issue that's been going on.
But didn't they say he's fired? Didn't he say he's fired?
So they thought they was. Then they had a press conference about it, and they have not gotten rid of him. And it sounds like they're going to make him stick out this contract, and they're not going to
Does
let him.
anybody know how long it is?
I have to look it up, but the thing of it is that Ibushi can't go anywhere because then, of course, that's a breach of contract, which then you would be sued. And if that happens, that's just a route. There has to be a way where this could be a happy medium with these two sides. This got so sour so fast, and it happened in the blink of an eye.
I don't know why they wouldn't let him go to AEW at least, because it's, I don't know, it's
I just don't think New Japan really want. I think they just. The problem is he's one of the biggest stars in New Japan, and I just think that it really sucks that he would leave. That's the thing, though. Like, he'll be on AEW's weekly show, but the thing is, you have to remember, New Japan, who knows what the fan base in Japan, if they watch really AEW that much. That's the thing, though, and if you lose Ibushi, when you can't deny it, that's as massive of a loss for that roster that's already trying to be as creative as possible the last 2 years as it gets when you lose a guy like that. And it's they're in such a, I get where Ibushi's coming from, the whole thing with his mom and everything like that, with the mental health stuff, and he took time away and they weren't and I get where kind of where New Japan's coming from, whereas you didn't show up, you breached contract, you were supposed to show up. It just seems like, to me, the issue is that and again, clearly New Japan had a press conference about it. Ibushi's been tweeting about it nonstop, that something has to be fixed and settled to the point where it's New Japan can't let this relationship get sour for future talent to come in there, and Ibushi can't just sit on the side and not be relevant for the next X amount of months until this is fixed. So somebody has to come to a happy medium with this situation where you say, okay, just do 5 more appearances for us. We'll pay you out. We'll let you go and do what you want. But the thing is also, Ibushi, what I've been hearing is doesn't want to leave Japan. That's the thing, because of his mom and everything. He does not want to leave Japan. He wants to stay there. He just has had a sour relationship with New Japan that just caught like a wildfire in a matter of days.
So, like MJF.
It's what it feels like.
Pretty similar. It does, yeah.
It's 100% that. Whereas MJF, to me, can't afford to stay on the sidelines and breach his contract. And AEW, Tony Khan can't afford to let MJF stay on the sidelines because he's arguably their biggest heel in the company. So
biggest heel in wrestling.
What'd you say?
Biggest heel in wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a matter of they both have to find a ground where it's just really odd that AEW New Japan are in a very similar style. Obviously, AEW has brought it on live TV. New Japan has done it out of the. I mean, they had a press conference about it. I mean, what do you want them to do? They weren't going to not say anything. It's too big of a story for them to not say anything about it because Ibushi kept tweeting things, and New Japan had to make a statement. And say,
the thing is, in Japan, it's a work ethic is it's a different society over there.
Yes,
and work ethic is completely different. Like people being a workaholic is very much normal over there. Where over here, like people do it, but it's a little like it's not as culturally acceptable because there's people who think you're crazy. In Japan, everybody is like that.
Yeah.
That's how they are. And if you, it's I'm not gonna say everybody, but it's more of the norm than it is over here. So I think that's more of what it is, where he was supposed to show up to work and he did not. Now, I don't know if he got approval for time off or whatever, but I think that's more of what it is. It's more of the different society. So us trying to break down what it is a little bit different.
The only reason why I don't think we can break it down is because people are saying things and we don't know what's true and what's not. Obviously, Ibushi's not going to lie about his mother's mental health. And New Japan, I don't think, is going to go out of their way to make somebody look like a douche for missing time.
But they're going to protect their company.
That's exactly what it is. They have to protect the brand that they're in. And AEW is in the same situation with MJF and Tony Khan. Khan's trying to protect his brand. MJF's trying to protect his brand. So they're both trying. It's both companies are having a similar situation where you have to find a happy medium with two of your biggest stars that you have on your roster. And that's where it comes down to, right? It's not like a mid-card guy is having this issue. These are huge main event caliber talents that are bringing this to light for the public to see it. And to me, that it's got to be fixed, and it's got to be fixed quick, because what's going to happen is Ibushi's going to keep tweeting, and MJF's going to keep going on podcasts and saying things. And it's going to get progressively worse to the point where the negotiations are good. It's going to be a non-negotiable thing at this point, where it's going to get so sour that nobody's going to be able to accomplish anything. You're not going to be able to do anything with this situation, period. So we'll see if it gets fixed. New Japan's president is very new. Tony Khan is very new to this. So for both of these guys, they got to figure out how do we fix these situations with talent that are going through something like this right now. But we'll see. But when we come back from break, we are going to recap our time in Vegas. We'll recap Double or Nothing. We are going to recap GCW and how hot as hell and building it was. And it was insane. We'll get to our finishing move. We'll get to all that and so much more when we come back right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and bodyslam.net. This is Off the Mat. We'll be right back.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Dear John, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm going to keep ticking, but no, my friend, I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to the good times, when we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while? Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave, but unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? When I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jason Derulo. I love that music connects to people all over the country. But unfortunately, so does something else. Childhood hunger. 15 million kids struggle with hunger right here in America. And yet, every year, billions of pounds of surplus food in the U.S. go to waste instead of going to the children in need. Feeding America is working to change this. The Feeding America nationwide network of food banks rescues this surplus of food to help provide meals to families in virtually every community in the United States, including yours. But they just can't do this alone. Join me in the fight against hunger in America. For more information on what you can do to get involved, visit feedingamerica.org. That's feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America. A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Rest in peace. Welcome to the Shield of Justice. I'm the Boogeyman, and I'm coming to get you. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Now, welcome back to Off the Mat with Alex Slows, Josh Silverberg, and Lyle.
Hey!
We're back. I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that.
Nope.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and BodySlam.net. This is Off the Mat, joining you every Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got to tell you, I am very happy we are back, by the way. I've missed greatly doing the show the last few weeks. I love doing this. I know Lyle loves doing this. It's just good. It's downtime to just talk wrestling, talk about something we love. So I know we have definitely missed it for sure. And we are back. So let's get into how our trip to Vegas was. To me, that was my real first time. What'd you say?
It was booty.
Yeah. That was really my first time there. And we did the strip. We got to go. Obviously, we saw some wrestling events. The house was awesome. The house was great. The location was perfect. And everything like that. To me, I had a blast. It was so crazy because the person we went with, I won't disclose the name, actually wound up getting COVID from the trip, and we did not. I got every week we have to be we get randomly tested at school. We get picked, and I got picked, and they do a PCR. And I was taking rapids, negative, and then I got a PCR done on Monday, and it came back negative.
Good.
And I'm just trying to. So I got to give kudos to my sister-in-law, Christina. Because she works in the medical field, and basically she said, and it's not proven, but it is out there. There's a regimen that boosts your immune system to help you try to avoid it, where it's like taking zinc, more vitamin C, vitamin D, all this stuff. And I took all that and I did all that. Like, I was without a mask in the car with the person for more than 20 minutes, maskless. Nothing. And nothing.
But we don't know when he got it. He could have gotten it on the flight.
Could have gotten it on the foot. Well, but the thing is, he still had it though. That's the thing.
No,
though.
if he got it then on the flight back, then we were barely ever exposed to him.
No, that's the thing. I mean, like I said, I was the closest exposed to him because, again, I was in the car with him for X amount of time, but didn't get anything.
In the car with him.
How long?
We were both in the car with him.
No. Yeah, but which is crazy. Like, and I was in the car with him again afterwards for like another 30 minutes in the front seat next to him, and.
Oh, you're talking about that. Okay, yeah.
And I got nothing. And I don't know if maybe maybe the stuff with the zinc and all that stuff. Maybe
I
it
think
works.
it's just a wives tale.
Yeah, who knows? Well, you
I don't
never know. Listen, my sister-in-law's in the medical field, so I trust her judgment for when she reads things and knows things and everything like that. So, hey, listen, whatever it was, it helped. It didn't hurt it. So and everything like that. So didn't get anything, didn't bring anything home to my wife and my son, which was a very important thing. Everything like that. So, and he's doing much better. I've been keeping up with him, so he's doing much better. Everything like that. So that's the important thing. But Vegas was awesome. I mean, we got there very early Saturday, went food shopping, went to Total Wines, did all that, got stuff, went to the pool, and then we went to GCW. And it felt beyond like a sauna in there, to the point where I know you stepped out for more than half the show that night. You were outside watching it.
It was really brutally hot.
Yeah, and my guess is the Silver Nugget. My guess is obviously doesn't have an AC unit in there.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. My only backup thing would have probably been was maybe get some fans in there.
Didn't they have a giant fan in there?
I didn't see any giant fan. If there was, I would have been next.
I thought they had one and they didn't turn it on.
Oh, that's good use of something that you could have utilized. That's good. They used light tubes, but they didn't use the fan. That's good. Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Don't hold me to that.
I didn't see a fan in there. If there was, I would have been the first one next to it.
No, I thought it was a ceiling fan.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. It would have been useful if they did turn it on. But that was the most uncomfortable I've ever, and I don't want to take that away from the show. The show was a very good show. It was a great show. Downward Spiral. That was the most uncomfortable environment I've ever been in for a wrestling show. It was hot. Obviously when you go to an indie show, the seats are on top of one another, but it was so funny because half the seats, that people that bought the seats wound up going outside.
Yeah.
They didn't want to stay in there anymore. It was it was so ridiculously hot in there, to the point of I was like, this is crazy. And then the death match happened. You were in the front by the ramp, I want to say.
Oh, I went right up there. Yeah, I was right up there by the front. I was watching that. That was amazing. And I have to say, watching them on TV in the future does not give this judge justice. If you have never seen one live, go do it. What you see on TV does not do it justice to what you're seeing in person.
I was on one of the side. I was my buddy and I we were on the side by one of the rows. And I figured, okay, we're behind all the chairs. We're in a safe zone. Well, nothing's gonna happen. And 5 minutes into the match, a light tube gets shot, and a ginormous piece nearly grazes me in the arm. And I dodged out of the way. And if I didn't dodge out of the way, it probably cut my arm. And I saw the piece on the floor, and the guy next to me, a random guy next to me, says, he actually asked me, "Are you good?" Because he saw me dodge it. And I said, "I'm fine. I thought I was at a safe zone." Apparently not. I was 8 rows from behind the ring. But apparently the light tube was hit so hard, the piece went flying, and thank God it was only my arm and not my head. It was awesome. That part wasn't awesome. I was pretty pissed. I was pretty upset.
Yeah, you're
Not
crying about it the whole
upset.
weekend.
I was more, I think, shocked. I think scared a little bit at that point, because I didn't want to get hit. I didn't think I was going to get hit with anything. And I saw the piece on the floor, and it was probably like that. It was a huge ass piece. And then like I said, the guy asked me next to me and said, "Are you all?" Not my buddy I was with. The guy next to me said, "Are you all right?" Because he legitimately thought I got hit with it. I said, "I'm fine. I didn't get hit with it. I moved. I don't know how I moved out of the way in time. The instincts. I think So, to me, that happened, and then Double or Nothing happened, and then the Anarchy in the Arena match happened. My father, I'm there when Eddie Kingston's fighting Mamadorna from the Jericho Appreciation Society, and my father didn't even tell him. My dad calls me, and he goes, "I saw you." He goes, "You look like you were rubbing your sneakers." I said, "Yeah." So yeah, because the two of them were trying to do mustard on each other, and I got mustard on my sneakers, and
I'm more shocked that I didn't get COVID. Like
by that.
No, because I followed that entire mob. That entire
you weren't
time.
wearing a mask either, right?
Nope, I was not. That
No,
entire
I
mob,
was,
I
yeah.
followed the entire time, everywhere they went to. I was right up against them, right in the front, and I don't know how I did not get COVID from that.
Yeah, I mean, look, Daniel Garcia was walking by.
Because nobody wore a mask.
Yeah, I did. I was probably the only one that did.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. I was not going to go maskless in that mob. No, absolutely not. That's COVID's or us when you go into that thing. Let me tell you.
Oh, I'm clear. Woo!
And Daniel Garcia is walking by. I called Daniel Garcia. I'm not going to say the words. I don't know. It was just I guess I just was so hyped when I saw it up close. I called him a bunch of different names. And he looked at me and gave me a look. And I said,
What did you call? What did you say to him?
I'm not saying it.
Say it.
No,
I'm not. Say it.
It's a few things. And he and I.
How about this? You type it in the chat and I'll read it.
No, you're not going to read it.
No, type it and I'll read it. Yes.
Okay.
So Josh called him.
No, you're not going to sound. And he looks at me, and I pull my mask down for a second, and
I got COVID.
And I said, "What are you going to do about it? Are you going to hit me?" And then in my head, I said, "Cool, you hit me. I got a light tube that almost hits me from GCW. I'll sue everybody this weekend. This is great. That's what I'll do. That's great. You want to do it?" And it was so funny. My father called me. He goes, "I saw you on TV. I saw you were going nuts, and I saw you rubbing your sneakers because Eddie Kingston and Matt Madonna just were taking mustard, and they got mustard, and I 110% stepped in Madonna's blood on the floor."
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And I knew I stepped in it because the guy next to me said, "Watch out," and I said, "Right in the puddle of it." I was like, and I was so pissed because my wife bought me, those are brand new sneakers. My wife just bought me, and I got mustard, and I'm actually going to get them dry cleaned this weekend.
Hopefully they don't shrink.
What did happen?
Hopefully they don't shrink.
No. That's why they're doing it, and I'm not doing it. Because if I did it, that thing's 100% turned into Caleb's size. If I did it, so it would be. So I was like,
they could still.
But I was just like, it was cool, and I saw it after, and the guy next to me was like, "Oh man, you got whacked with that mustard though. It was on my shorts." Like when I saw Eddie trying to open it up, and he couldn't open it. And I said, "I've seen this before. I know I'm going to get screwed because I'm right there I'm right at the angle where the mustard bottle was facing. I'm going to get screwed." Lo and behold, that is exactly what happened. So
how long has it been since you got screwed?
What?
First time in a while you got screwed?
Yeah, probably.
What, maybe about 12 months?
Oh, no. It's been sooner than that. No. No. But it was, it was Double or Nothing was a very good show. It wasn't the best show. It was a very solid, good show. Very good show, I thought. To me,
Crowd wasn't great for me. I wasn't happy with the crowd. I thought they were very dull at times.
yeah, I mean, the Anarchy in Arena was cool. That was probably Hangman's worst title defense match he's had since he was champion.
And I think Punk has been hurt for a while.
Yeah, it was sloppy.
Because he didn't land right that match. He had a couple other matches. He had one match where he did look like he hurt his leg. It was right after I want to say Full Gear, and I think that he has been hurt since then, trying to rehab the injury, and I think he made it worse when he jumped into the barricade.
You're talking about Punk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the guy tried to do the buckshot lariat twice, and he failed both times. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Dude. It didn't work the first time. Don't do it again, because if you screw it up again, it's going to look really bad.
And then he did it again.
He did it again, and it looked worse the second time. And I went, God, guy, like, you got to understand. That was,
He's done it before, though.
What happened?
He's done it before, and I also
it
worked
a few weeks ago. Yeah,
I do like that, though. I like it that he does it, and it didn't work. I also like it how, you'll get like the older generation of wrestlers who will say that if one guy has a move, nobody should do it. But think about it in UFC. If I did a armbar, is it going to be just as good as Ronda Rousey's? No! It's not. But that's how it should be. If I have a move, hold on. If I have a move that I'm really, really good at, doesn't mean Joe Blow is going to be also as good as it. So, like, that to me gives more validity to Shawn Michaels' super kick over the Young Bucks super kick.
But would you try it twice in a match? Would you do it?
It shouldn't be equal. It shouldn't be. So I like it how he tried it. He couldn't do it. It made his buckshot lariat look even better because he can do it, and he does it, and then you're out. You're done. It makes his version look even better to me. And I don't know. I think it made his look better. Just, I don't know. Like, I think that it shouldn't be equal. If it's someone's finisher, like, yeah, if I do an armbar, it's not going to be as good. I'm not going to do it as good as Ronda Rousey. So he tried doing it and he failed. And I don't know. I think that made it look better.
Yeah, I mean, Warlow MJF, we knew what it was going to be. I was not a fan of the Hardy's Bucks. Jeff was off.
I liked it. But he got hurt. He almost got knocked out apparently. But
yeah, he felt out of sorts. Everything like that. So, all right, So let's get to our finishing move. Lyle, start with it.
My finishing move is that I think FTR really needs to get the IWGP titles. I think it's not right. They have had multiple triple threat matches, and they have not been in the AEW tag team titles. And like the three of them, triple threat matches they've had, they haven't been in there. I think the Bucks are going to get the AEW titles. Then FTR is going to get the IWGP titles, and then at All Out it'll be Young Bucks versus FTR 3 for the AEW tag titles, and that's when they're going to get them.
Well, anybody's better than who the tag team champions are in New Japan right now, which is abysmal. It's Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale.
Oh, yeah.
So,
but United Empire is definitely going to beat them.
I mean,
at Dominion, which I am 100% waking up at like 2 a.m. to watch.
So my finishing move is pretty much, for me, it's a matter of these injuries that have gone down the last few weeks for both brands. I'm very curious what Vince does. I'm curious what Tony Khan does. I'm very curious how they adjust to weather the storm that was unexpected for both of these companies at this time. but that's what injuries are. They come at sometimes not no injuries ever at a good time. So I am curious to see how these two weather the storm. Vince has been through it before. Tony, this is really his first go of figuring out what to do and how to handle it. So we will see how it goes for sure. But yeah, I mean, listen, we'll see how it is and everything like that. So we'll see. Don't forget to tune into us next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Saturday.
Joe Galley will be on with us at 6:15 from NWA. He will be joining us.
I can't do Saturday. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Neither can I. So before we go, really quick, how you can listen to us, you can download our app. Type in WSRN if you have an iPhone. If you have Android, go to the Google Play Store, type in Worldwide Sports. We are on worldwidesportsradio.com. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. And we're on bodyslam.net. Check us out on there on the YouTube page. So it was great to be back. This was awesome. Had a lot of fun. I'm so glad we're back on the air. I missed it the last few weeks for sure. I know Lyle too. It's just great to shoot out what we love to talk about and everything like that, which is wrestling. And don't forget to check out other programs on WSRN and on bodyslam.net. So for Lyle Gillen, I'm Josh Silberg. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy SmackDown tonight. Enjoy Rampage tonight. Enjoy everything that's going down. And we'll talk to you next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you then. Kenny Omega, take it away.
I must bid you adieu. So say with me now if you know it. Goodbye. And good night.
Thank you for listening to Off the Mat on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, your source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment. It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Of course my kid's in the right car seat. Well, I think he is.
Yeah, my kid's in a booster seat. He was ready to move up. He is